Greetings everyone, Slizzle466 here, and today we're going to be looking at some of the best December 2019 wild off-meta decks to climb with. First up we have Hongo Hiroshi's Even Hunter. This deck utilizes two new even-costed cards introduced from the Descent of Dragons expansion. Phase Stalker, 2-mana 2/3 Beast. After you use your hero power, cast a secret from your deck. And Dragonbane, 4-mana 3/5 Mech. After you use your hero power, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. And so because your hero power costs 1, you want to be using it as much as possible. So turn 1 you'll play it, turn 2 you'll hopefully get a Phase Stalker, turn 3 you'll then use your hero power, get a free secret, do 2 damage, play another 2-drop. This deck's very 2-drop heavy, and then you can finish off with more extra damage from Dragonbane and just board nonsenses with a Hyena Alpha. So just a fun deck to try out. Next up we have ASD's Galakrond OTK Rogue. This is kind of a Burgle/Miracle Rogue style deck. The beginning game plan is to get your Galakrond fully charged as quickly as possible. So you want to make sure that you're playing your Praise Galakronds, your Seal Fates, your Devoted Maniacs. These will also be generating lackeys for you as you go to help control the board. And then once you've got your Galakrond ready to go, you get 4 cards that cost 0. And these cards combined with all the extra coins that you could get off Umbral Skulker can help you do quite a lot of damage with Spectral Pillager. If you're not familiar with this card, it's a 6-mana 5/5 combo. Deal damage equal to the number of other cards you've played this turn. And so you play all these cards, you do a lot of damage to your opponent's face. If that doesn't kill them, hopefully you've got a Shadow Step in hand that you can bounce the Spectral Pillager back to your hand and go through the process again in a similar fashion next turn. Another Rogue deck to check out is Team One Trick's Keith Numbers Deathrattle Rogue. This is a Necrarium Apothecary build based around Anubis-South Warbringer. So essentially how the deck works is you've got your early game Pirate and Lackey package with your 1-mana Pirates, your Evil Miscreant. This is to help you survive into the Necrarium Apothecary turn, where you make sure you combo it out to draw a Deathrattle minion from your deck, gain its Deathrattle. You can follow this up with an Anchor the Berry to change each Deathrattle minion in your hand. There's only, there's 1 or 2 of these, and there's 2 Anubis-Souths in the deck, so if you happen to have both, they both cost 1 and they're 1/1s. And then the goal is to just buff your hand out of control using the Deathrattle effect off the Anubis-South Warbringer. And because of that, we see the Stone Tusk Boars in the deck. These Boars at a minimum could be buffed to a 4/4. They could be buffed a lot more than this. And because they have charge, it can really catch your opponent off guard with lethal out of nowhere. You've also got a pretty decent mid-game package as well. You've got your Faceless Corruptors, your Vile Spine for big minions, your Ziliacs. And Keith Numbers did hit Legend with this list, and it's a fun one to try out. Another Rogue deck to try out is a Reno Rogue deck that had success on the China ladder. So this is a Burgle Reno Dragon Rogue, and it's actually quite good. I've tested it out. It's actually pretty fun, pretty powerful. So essentially, you want to, again, you've got your early pirate control. You've got your saps to deal with big minions, your underbelly fence to deal with any threats. And you basically just kind of burgle your way to victory, getting lots of value, just making sure you're doing efficient trades. And then looking at the high end, you've got your Barista and your Shadowcaster to help you get some extra value if you start running out of steam. You've got the Vlik Sky Shiv, 6-mana 4/4 Battlecry, destroy a minion and all copies of it. This can be really useful in certain matchups. To give one example, if you're playing against a Warlock deck and they maybe play their Void Lord, or they bring back the Void Lord and all the little 1/3 walkers, you could get rid of those walkers. If you're playing against a Mill Rogue and they play their Cold Light, you can just kill the Cold Light and all the other ones are gone, just to give a couple of examples. And the last little nice greedy card in this deck is Dragon Queen Galakrond. 9 mana 8/8 dragon. If your deck has no duplicates, add 2 random dragons to your hand. They cost 0. And so you're playing all these cards that have been burgled from all over the place. But then Test Greymane will then repeat all of those cards that are non-rogue. So unfortunately, if you queue into another rogue, this deck doesn't perform too well. But against all non-rogue decks, it performs pretty well, and definitely something you want to try out if you want a bit of a challenge climbing the ladder. Next up, we have Raedric's Malygos Warlock. This has introduced, because of the new synergies we have with Crazed Netherwing, it gives Malygos Warlock another board clear and not punishing it for putting dragons in the deck, such as Twilight Guardian, Galakrond, which may not necessarily be optimal. We've also got Nether Breath, which supports dragon synergies, dealing 2 damage, but even better if you're holding a dragon, dealing 4 damage with Lifesteal. And keep in mind that this card can go face, so it does have synergy with Malygos. Dark Skies has just become an auto-include in every single Warlock deck because it's just so good, it's so powerful. In slow Warlock decks, you have tons of cards in hand. And if you're unfamiliar about how the combo works with this deck, you want to play Emperor Thaurissan to discount your Malygos down to 8, and then you might also discount some Dark Bombs, some Nether Breaths, some Soulfires down to 1 or 0 mana, and then sneak in lethal out of nowhere to your opponent. Next up, we have Reno Jackson's Galakrond Warlock. This deck heavily uses the Invoke synergies that have been introduced in the Descent of Dragons expansion. So we can see we've got the Dragonblight Cultist, which invokes Galakrond, gains +1 attack for each other friendly minion. Keep in mind that the Invoke effect is to get 2 1/1 imps on the board. You've got your Devoted Maniac, which is pretty much an auto-include in most Galakrond decks. Fiendish Rites helps you invoke Galakrond, gives your minions +1 attack. You've got Veiled Worshipper if you need to get some extra cards. You've got Shielded Galakrond, just a nice body, invokes Galakrond. And then you've got your Kronk's Dragonhoof, and of course the Galakrond the Wretched package to level out the rest of the deck. So this is a zoo deck at heart. It runs a lot of eggs, runs cards like Plague of Flames, Evil Genius to pop those eggs, just to cause all sort of havoc for your opponent. And the last deck I want to have a look at is Galakrond Warrior. This is also a deck that has had some success on the China server. And this deck starts off as a Pirate Warrior, but then transitions into more of a mid-range Galakrond style deck. So you've got your Sky Raider, your Ankar, which are seen to play in Pirate Warrior. But then we see Scion of Ruin, 3 mana 3/2 dragon with Rush, Battlecry. If you've invoked twice, summon 2 copies of this. This is incredibly powerful, being able to do 9 rush damage to control the board. You've also got Awaken, which will invoke Galakrond, deal 1 damage to all minions. And then, again, you've got your 3 neutrals that we see in most Galakrond decks, the Devoted Maniac, the Shielded Galakrond, the Kronk's Dragonhoof. And the Galakrond the Unbreakable basically lets you draw a whole bunch of minions, give them +4/+4. Keep in mind, when you invoke Galakrond, your hero gets +3 attack. This is especially good against, say, an Even Shaman playing a Totem Golem, just to give one example. I have personally lost to this deck a lot, so it's pretty good against aggro, and maybe something that you'd like to check out. If you'd like to try out any of the decks in this video, all of the deck codes can be found in the description below. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch all the end of this video. If you want to support the channel further, you can click that subscribe button, click the notification bell. If you're having any success with off-meta decks, leave a comment below, let me know how you did. And until next time, hope to see you again. Sluzzle's back soon.